Hi, Becca C. Smith here, and welcome to Becca's Crafting Corner. In this video, I am going to show you how I made a Xenomorph from Aliens into a bag. I filmed this a while ago, I think March 2020. I was in Los Angeles and my husband and I were living in our RV. And it was right when quarantine hit, so I was itching to do a creative, crazy project, and I had been thinking about this one for a while and how I could tackle it. And I wanted to make this Xenomorph bag because I'm a huge Aliens fan. I love the first movie, but the second movie is my favorite. I'm an 80s child, well, 70s and 80s child, so I was 13 when Aliens came out, so it was the perfect age. I was obsessed. Because say what you will about James Cameron, he made pretty kick-butt female characters, and I wanted to be Ripley, I wanted to be Sarah Connor, although I could only do about 2 pull-ups. But man, that scene in T2 where she kept doing the pull-ups, that was my inspiration for years. But I loved Ripley. I loved that she was the one that saved the prince and the little princess. And I really wanted to challenge myself to see if I could make a Xenomorph bag. Now, of course, like any crafter will tell you, there are things I would definitely do different now. So there may be a revisit to this bag where I make some changes, but I actually ended up being really happy with how it turned out.
The first thing I do when I make a bag pattern is sketch out the basic shape of what I'm trying to make. Once I have that, I rough in where and how big I want the opening of the bag to be. Then I measure the distance for a front piece and a back piece, making sure they overlap at the bottom so nothing falls out. Next, I take those measurements so I know how long each piece will be. Then I decide how wide or narrow I want the bag to be depending on what I'm making. So since this is a Xenomorph head, I want the front of the head to be a lot wider than the back. I sketched out the teeth for the front and the side. Then I sketched out all the crazy bone, ribs, sinewy designs on the side of the head. Now that I had all my pattern pieces, I pinned them to the vinyl and cut out the fabric.
I managed to glue on the teeth for the front panel. I'm hoping this works. I'm gonna sew them on real quick. It's really gonna be about the sides of the alien head that really make this thing look real, but I still need to create the inner piece, which is the face that we'll be looking at when we see this bag. So I've got the teeth and I'm having the mouth shut because it's easier. There's no way, sorry guys, there's no way I could create the second. Yeah, so I'm just gonna start with the teeth and then I'm gonna build the sides.
Sewing the teeth is a bit therapeutic and honestly ended up being the easiest thing to sew on the bag.
So this next step is difficult. I have a special presser foot that supposedly clamps this down because if you can see, this is stretch and it's very slippery. So I'm worried that it's the bone is going to slide off the bone. That's why I did it as a separate piece, so that I can sew it on the bag, just because I didn't want to sew this directly onto the bag in case it didn't work. And then I'd ruin the whole bag.
The presser foot worked! Woohoo! I admit the stretch got a bit curly, so it wasn't perfect, but I knew once I stuffed it, it would flatten out. Now the same for the ribs. Some more stuffing. And then I sewed the bone and the ribs on the side.
Now comes the difficult part. This is going on the bottom, it's the bottom jaw. And so I drew out all the different pieces that I need to cut out and sew onto the base. And then I'll sew it onto each side. So I gotta make 2 of those. But that's all the sinewy, you know, joints, and it's a lot, but it's gonna be fun. And then I have to do that over the nose area, or teeth area here. And then I have to do it in the front, and I have to do it on the chin. But this is good. This bottom piece is gonna be the biggest piece, so I'm gonna start on that one first.
This was a doozy. I cut out hundreds of tiny strips of vinyl to build the sinewy, dripping acid xenomorph look. It was a lot. Then I had to sew on each individual strip. Essentially, I was trying to sculpt and create my own texture, or even textile, with the seams and fabric.
They're coming along. I just have to sew all the pieces together. Nothing's sewn down yet. All these are flimsy, because that's just the sides. I still have to do the middle piece with the teeth here. So I have to do more stripping for the middle piece. But it's getting there. I think this might work.
After I finished each piece, I sewed it onto the side of the alien head underneath the bone. Then sewed the smooth, rounded top to try and create the smooth dome of the xenomorph head. And then I was ready to put it all together. This was actually the easiest part because I had essentially prepped each piece. The rest was just a normal bag for me. If normal means dragons, unicorns, dinosaurs, spaceships, and now xenomorphs. Voila! I'm really happy with the way it turned out. My very own xenomorph. And it actually carries quite a bit as well. The critic in me sees the things I want to do or add differently, but I'm letting that go and just enjoying the fact that it actually looks like an alien.
And hopefully someday I can debut him at a con. I miss cons. I thought that I was going to be able to go to Comic-Con with this little guy, and you know, I was even going to wear, you know, the jumpsuit, you know, at the end when she's wearing the, you know, when she takes on Mama Queen, and just thought it'd be kind of cute just to wear, you know, the blue coverall jumpsuit with my head of an alien bag with me. But yeah, don't know when that's going to happen, but hopefully in the future cons will come back and we can all go and have fun and cosplay. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.